Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new League of Legends video. So unfortunately I am still sick and my voice is still gonna be sounding a little bit awkward. But with that aside, I want to talk to you guys today about something, just a topic that has been on my mind. It's related to three different things, one of course being ZED, the second of which being the QSS change, and the third of which being the potential assassin rework coming at the end of this year. It's kind of a personal theory I just randomly thought up and I thought it was actually quite interesting. I'll obviously be going into much more detail throughout the video, but the general theory is stating that I think Riot might be planning to do a ZED rework. But just before we get into that and I give you guys the details as to why I think this, the question of today's video is, do you think ZED deserves a rework, especially after the QSS changes come to live servers, where you no longer will be able to QSS ZED ultimates? And if you end up enjoying this video and my sick voice doesn't end up annoying you to the ends of the earth, definitely hit that like button. But let's get into the meat of the topic. So, ZED rework, why do I think this? Well, the first point to talk about are the indirect buffs coming to ZED very soon with the QSS changes. Now I did make a video talking about that change specifically and I'm assuming most of you have seen it, but if you haven't, the gist of it is as follows. Riot has decided to change QSS to the point where you no longer use QSS to remove certain abilities, for instance like a ZED ultimate, a Fiora ultimate, a Vladimir ultimate. QSS will now only remove crowd control type effects. But Riot themselves have stated that, well, this will obviously make ZED very strong and they will be keeping an eye out on this champion. But they also stated that the reason they're changing QSS in such a way is because they don't want to balance a champion like ZED completely revolving around this item. They don't like how this one single item removes or essentially counters ZED's ultimate, which is a big part of his kit, at the press of a button. This is just simply not a mechanic that Riot likes to have in their game. So that's the first major topic. The second one is the fact that Riot has announced that the next batch of champions to get reworked, similar to how we had the ADC work and very recently the mage rework, is most likely going to be the assassin champions. Now I also made a video talking about this and giving you guys an idea as to which assassin champions I believe deserve a rework. Now I didn't put ZED in that list because when I made that list, the QSS changes were not announced yet and I had no idea such a thing was coming. But after these QSS changes got announced, and obviously this being somewhat random, well, this obviously changes the perspective of ZED. So what does this mean for ZED after the QSS changes go to the live servers? Well, obviously ZED will potentially be quite overpowered. He'll be banned about 95% of every single solo queue game, and he will be without question a pick or ban champion. He will do a lot of damage and be very hard to deal with, especially if you're playing an ADC or an AD type champion that can no longer buy QSS to counter his ultimate. All in all, this will put ZED in a very interesting position, one that Riot will have to keep an eye on and one that of course Riot will have to nerf a patch or two later. So with that being said, I'm definitely going to be expecting some ZED nerfs to come, but this is where the big problem lies. I do believe that it'll be very difficult to nerf ZED to the point where playing ZED against someone that rushes on his hourglass will still feel okay and you'll still have ways to play around it, while also still having the potential and options to play against ZED as an ADC champion, obviously not having the option to get QSS. To me, there has to be some balance between those two, and finding that balance is just not going to be very easy. And off the top of my head, I can't think of anything they can do right now that is just a simple number change that will make him balanced. He'll either be just simply way too strong or simply way too weak. So what I think Riot is trying to do is as follows. They're going to change this QSS item, release it to the live servers. ZED will be overpowered. They'll try to nerf him. They'll try to find that balance or that even spot or that sweet spot. And one of two things will happen. Maybe they will work some kind of magic. Maybe they will find that sweet spot and everyone will be happy. Or, and I think this one might be a bit more likely, they won't find that sweet spot. ZED will always be either too strong or too weak. But after realizing this and testing it out and finding out that, you know what, maybe they just simply cannot balance him, they'll put him on the list of assassins to rework. And the next batch of champions to get a rework are going to be assassins. ZED will be part of it, and his ultimate and potentially other abilities will get changed to the point where it'll work much better with the changes to QSS. It'll be a much more fair playstyle, and essentially ZED will be somewhat of a different champion. So that's kind of my theory. That's what I think is going to be happening with ZED after the QSS changes come to the live servers. Riot will try to balance him. They'll either find the sweet spot or they won't, and if they won't, then well, they will be putting ZED on the list for the potential assassins to rework. And not only will Zed be getting a rework, but assassins in general will also be getting a rework. So I don't know guys, I mean that's just a topic I had in my mind. I thought it was interesting and I really wanted to share it with you guys. This is somewhat of a shorter video, but I also think this is definitely a more interesting video. So after watching this and hearing my thoughts on it, please in the comments below let me know, what do you think? Do you think I'm right about this? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think Zed deserves a rework? What do you think? I want to hear from you. But that is about it for this video guys. I mean, if you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button, share this with your friends, let other people know what potentially might be happening to Zed or what might be coming for this champion. Make sure to check out my other videos as well, and here are my favorite comments from my previous videos. Question: French fries or onion rings? But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you for the next video. Peace.